everyone, welcome back to Mongrels Garage, where today we are going to be continuing our wiring tutorial for the modern Hemi swap. Specifically, we're going to be looking at the ignition circuit and the starting circuit. Now for the 2003 to the 2008, there's a couple ways I know how to do this. You can use the PCM or you can make the starting circuit independent of the PCM. For 2009 and up, as far as I know, you have to use the PCM for the starting circuit, but you're going to have to disable the CAN bus start command. If you know a different way to do this, 2009 and up, please go ahead, leave the comments down below, let me know your experience with it. That'd be great. I'd love to hear it. I like to learn. Please subscribe, ring the bell, leave some likes. So without further ado, let's get started. We're going to need a starter so we can show you if it's working or not. We're going to need the battery. Now I'm doing it with a battery because that's what most people have access to. They don't have a power supply. That's why we're using the battery. We've got a ground cable hooked up just to our starter here. And then we have the original cable from the truck. I'll put the link to that Junkyard Tips video. And this is the one we pulled out of the truck. You can see it's got the battery terminal here. It also has the fuse box. And it has the alternator. It's got the yellow wire, comes off of this connector here, runs this entire length, and it comes out here, and that's what actuates the solenoid. So that's your basic setup for this system. Now this is making it independent of the PCM. We're not going to use the PCM at all for this particular one. We're going to make a separate circuit. So we're going to hook up our power to this positive stud on the solenoid. We're going to hook it up to the battery, we're going to hook up our ground it to the case of the starter, and then our control wire, when we want to actuate it, has 12 volts on it. We're going to use the old trigger mechanism here for the start switch. Now later on we're going to wire in an ignition switch and stuff like that, and we're going to show you how to set up the relays and the fuses and all that good stuff to show you how to build this circuit. So let's get started with that. And it's pretty simple. We're just going to put power right here. So we just take our power wire. There we go. We got power to the solenoid. We got the case to the starter grounded. And we're going to take, there's this gray connector right by the battery. We're going to take one end of our trigger. And we're going to put it on that yellow pin right there. Okay, so I'm just going to put that in there for now. We're going to take the other end, we're going to give it power. We can put it on the battery, we can put it on the fuse box piece here. And then if we pull this trigger, and you want to zoom in on this, there you go, real simple, okay? That's how that system works. But let's build it correctly, let's put a fuse in it, let's put a relay in it. First thing we want to do is we want to put a fuse in the circuit. So we're going to put that in before our ignition. And we've got a 20 amp in here right now. It's not quite big enough, but it'll work, I think, for what we're doing today. It's the biggest I got. So best thing to do is go find the wiring schematic and see what should be in there. Is going to have to tie in to a switch. Imagine this as your ignition. So put that on there. And this is going to be our power source for our starter control and for our computer. On the switch side of the computer, we're going to use the red wire. On the starter control, we're going to use this wire. Now, if I was to hook this up to the starter right now, so we put that on there. Okay, we obviously don't want that. So what we're going to have to install next is a relay. Now, for those of you that know how relay works, go ahead, skip ahead. I'm going to index the video so that you can move on to the next section. For those of you that need a refresher, if you take a look at the relay right here, get in on that, you'll see a little diagram there. What it is you can see the corresponding numbers, and if I look at this, you got 85 and 86. is what energizes a magnetic switch in here. And if you turn this over, you'll see the numbers on this. So we're looking for 85 and 86, and what that does is it closes the switch. Okay, so that's the control side of the relay. And then you got the power side of the relay. So we're gonna play with the control side of the relay. That does not take big voltage, does not take big amperage. So I'm gonna hook that up to our switch here. And we're gonna go 86, 85. And then if I touch this, well, we're gonna have to turn our ignition on. And then if I touch it, you should be able to hear this clicking. So it's ready to send power down the starter. Okay, I'll walk you through what we have. We have our fused power going to our ignition switch. Our ignition switch is on. From there, we got the power going into the control side of the relay. This would be the start position when I pull this trigger on your ignition. But if I do it right now, you can hear that relay's not clicking. Hold the trigger down. You can see the relay is clicking, and we've got 0 ohms. So we've got the switch is switching like it should be. The control side is working how we want it to work. We're actually going to wire it into this, and we're going to wire it out how it would be in your car. So stick with us, let's go through that. Okay, what we have now is we have our relay holder. It only plugs in one way. You can only put the relay in the one way. So we've got a power source here, direct. That's going to feed our starter. Now you can put that fused, and you're going to need a big fuse for that. But right now we're just going direct. We have the ground for the control side grounded here to the battery. So we're going to plug our relay in, just like that. And this yellow wire, which happens to correspond with the starting wire, is going to go right there. And we'll just plug it right in to that pin. So that's now connected to this wire on our starter. We're going to use our start switch, but what we have is we have our ignition switch here. So this is ignition on, that's ignition off. So right now, if we go to the start position, nothing happens. We take our ignition, we turn it on, nothing happens. But now if we hit our start, either whether you want to use a button or use a key, there you go, the relay is controlling the starter. Now that's important because what we're going to do is when we move into the PCM, we're going to have it control the relay. We're going to provide the signal to the PCM to go ahead and hit the start. So let's get to that point. Okay, let's cover some basics on a circuit. So the first symbol we have is this ground symbol right here. And we have those in 3 places. Right now, what we have on the bench, this is just going to the negative post on the battery. Next, this is a fuse. This is an open switch. So this is our ignition switch here. This will be our starting trigger here. Here's our relay. So coming off the ignition switch, we go into pin number 30 on the relay. Remember, this is the power side. And then that's going to come out. This is basically a magnetic switch in here. So the control side controls the magnetic part of it, and then this is the switching side of it. This is going to be pin 87 going out to the starter. Now here we're controlling the control side of the relay. Remember, low amperage, so there's not a lot of current going through here. And this is going to be pin 86. And on this side we're at pin 85. So what this is a positive trigger circuit. And there's a couple of ways you can do it. You can do a positive trigger or you can do a ground trigger. This becomes important because of how the PCM controls the relay, and that's why we're going to go through the 2 different circuits and how they're set up. Okay, let's talk about what we currently have sitting on the bench, and that's a positive trigger system with a normally off relay. So we come off the positive side of the battery, go through our fuse. Now we have an ignition switch right here, and we connect to pin number 30, and that's our power side of the relay. On the other side, we have our start trigger, which connects to the pin 86. And then this is grounded. Pin 87 still goes out to our device and goes to ground. So This is exactly what we have on the bench right now. Now the other way we can do this is just slightly differently. You can still see that we're pulling the power off the positive side of the battery, going through our fuse. Again, we have our ignition switch right here. This side also comes off of the ignition switch and into pin 86. This time our trigger is on the ground side. This is very important because this is how the PCM controls the relay. It provides the ground to the relay. So we have to make sure that we're providing the relay with power on the control side, and the PCM will provide the ground on the control side. This will close the switch, allow the power to go through into the starter motor and complete the circuit. Okay, now that we know everything in concept, let's go through the PCM wiring. From our first video, our friendly harness is back, the one that we plug into the PCM. So now we're going to wire this up so that it will turn the PCM on and off, and it will control the starter through the PCM. Remember, black connector is the one we're focusing on, our grounds, and then a couple switches with wires here, and away we go. Okay, let's talk about adding the starter to the PCM. So first thing we're going to look at is we're going to look at our C1 connector. Again, we're on the Mopar connection repair kit site. Go ahead, check out the link down below, or it's in the first video. I explain how to use this site. This is the 2006. We're going to come down to pin 30, and you'll see there's a yellow wire ignition switch output start. So that needs to see the start signal from the key. Now let's go over to the 2009 C1 connector, 2009 and up, and you'll see on pin 30, nothing there. You have to put a pin in there in order for this to work. Now, I definitely had to go this route because I could not get the engine to start without it seeing the start signal through the PCM on the 2009 and up. On the 2008 and down, I was fine, it was okay. It would be happy to energize the coils and start the engine. But in the 2009, I could not get it to energize the coils unless it's seen the start signal through the PCM. Might be a way to disable that, I'm not sure. If you know, put it down in the comments below, please. We go over to the C3 connector, which is the white connector. There's a couple wires that we're going to talk about. First one is on pin 21. It's this yellow and dark blue, and that's your neutral sense, your park safety switches. That's essentially what it is. It has to get grounded. That's all there is to it. And then pin 38, that's your starter relay control. That's what provides the ground to the relay to energize the relay, which will complete the circuit and allow the starter to spin. So we'll go into the HP tuners and we'll go into the editing. And the first place we're going to head is to the system. Now this is what might help you take care of that problem I was having. And at the time I did not have this program, so I do not know if this would help or not. If you disable this, your starter relay, and tell the PCM there is no starter relay, then perhaps you'll be able to do a remote start system and avoid the PCM on the 2009 and up. I don't know, haven't tested it. If you have, go ahead and put them down in the comments below. We're going to go over to the communication side on the system, and here's where you have to make sure start over CAN bus is disabled right here, because that is what caused me some grief. That is enabled. It's looking for a signal from the body control module, and you're not going to get that because we don't have it. We don't want to wire it up that way. We're not going to have a body control module on our swaps. So get that disabled and you should be able to make this work just fine. 2006 computer, 2010 computer, they both energize the starter as long as it has that wire. Now if you're using the older harness, it already has it. You don't have to add it to that. You don't have to add that start wire to the C1 connector pin 30. If you're using a newer harness, then you're going to have to add the wire to C1 connector pin 30. It's not that hard. I can cover that in a future video if you need me to. And that's it. Now that we've gone through the pin outs, let's go and do it physically on the bench. See how it goes. So, I know this is starting to look a little bit complicated, but it's not too bad. We still have our ignition switch right here. So that comes through our fuse, ties into the ignition, and the ignition has power going out. That powers up the switch wires to the PCM, if you'll remember those two ignition wires from the first video. For a reminder, there's C1 connector, the black connector, P12, and P11. And I talk about how to check the numbering on those connectors in the first video. The other thing we're going to need is we're going to need a starter signal wire right here. When you wire in your starter, you're going to be pulling power from the battery post. This should have a fuse in it as well. Should be a 30 amp fuse. I don't have it right now, but that should have a 30 amp fuse to the relay. Okay, on the power side, not the control side. So the next thing we're going to do with the computer control, you'll remember I said mostly we had to worry about the black connector. Well, now we got to start worrying about this neutral connector, the white connector. And there's two wires on here. There's this green one with the orange, and then there's this yellow one with the green stripe. This is our relay control. That's going to plug in to this side of the relay. So that's going to provide the ground for the relay. Okay, this side is going to be directly powered by the hot side of our start switch. Now this is our neutral park safety switch. This is going to have to get grounded. Okay, so we can run that to a ground someplace, or if we actually have the switch, we can put a proper switch in there for your park lever so that it grounds when it's in park or neutral. So we're going to plug that in to our PCM. We're going to connect our relay control to our relay. Now the last thing we have to worry about is, remember I said that this has that yellow wire, that pin 30, I believe it was, and it comes into our C1 connector. So we're going to have to run a wire to that as well. So we've got the wire running from there, and that same wire ties in to the other side of the relay. We're going to power things up, turn our ignition on, and if I hit the starter right now, nothing will happen. Now let's ground our neutral switch right here. There we go. Now the PCM is controlling the starter. Let's turn that off. We're going to put in our 2010 computer. We still haven't made any wiring changes yet. There we go, ignition is on. We're going to ground our switch, and we take that off. So you just have to ground that wire. There you go. Well, we just went through our second video on the Hemi swap wiring. So we did cover the ignition and the start circuit today. I really hope this video helped you out. And if you have any questions, go ahead, put it in the comments down below. I will be happy to get in touch with you, help you sort it out. These have been my experiences. If you have other experiences where you've managed to get certain things working differently, by all means, put those in the comments so people can read them. It's a great help for people, and it's really appreciated. If you don't mind hitting the subscribe and giving us a thumbs up, ring the bell so you know when the next video coming out. Speaking of which, I think that's going to be on the ASD system. So the auto shutdown relay, there's 3 relays you need for the swap, and that's going to be, we've covered the first one today, the starter relay. Second one is going to be the ASD, the auto shutdown relay, and then the third one will be the fuel pump relay. Those are the 3, everything else is optional, and that'll get you up and running. We're almost there. Once we cover the ASD, you'll be able to get that engine running on in your swap or on your stand or whatever you want to do. So again, hope this helps you out, and thanks for watching. It's much appreciated. We'll catch you on the next video.